with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, serial entrepreneur by night, six-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Myah Liscomb. A little bit about her. Myah Liscomb is a filmmaker and actress based in Nashville, Tennessee. Originally from out there from Maryland, Myah relocated to Nashville in 2009 to attend Tennessee State University. While in undergrad, she was very active in the Student Government Association, honors program, and becoming a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She graduated magna cum laude with her bachelor's degree in animal science and pre-veterinary medicine in 2013. With a passion for the arts and positive representation of people of color in media, Myah made the decision to follow her heart and pursue an advanced degree in film. She attended Liscomb University and graduated summa cum laude in 2017 with her master's of fine arts degree in film and creative media. Myah is also the creator and lead actress of the upcoming television comedy series, Weird Myah. While at Liscomb, she produced a mini-series of the show along with 30-minute episode titled Photobomb, which was her thesis film project. This episode was featured in the 2018 Nashville Film Festival and won Best TV Pilot at the 2018 National Black Film Festival in Houston, Texas. Myah had the opportunity to pitch Weird Myah at Nashville's 2019 FilmCom packaging, financing, distribution, market, and has since signed a deal with producer Joel Einsberg. Weird Myah will be premiering later, while she continues to pitch the full-length Weird Myah series to television networks. The family-friendly comedy is about embracing your individuality while navigating through an historically black college and university. Myah is very inspired by a different world, and Weird Myah has been described as potentially being the modern-day version. As a graduate of an HBCU, it has been very important to her to positively promote HBCUs and black culture in this way. Myah attributes much of her success to her strong sense of faith and the continuous support and encouragement she received from her parents, family, and friends. Welcome to the table, the amazing Myah Liscomb.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. So tell us about your journey, the journey that you're on, the entrepreneur journey, what you're doing now, and the entrepreneur journey thus far.
Yes, well, as you said, I am from Adelphi, Maryland, and I moved to Nashville in 2009 to attend Tennessee State University. So starting out, my background was animal science, pre-veterinary medicine. Growing up, I always said that I wanted to be a veterinarian. I had influences in my life who were veterinarians. I loved animals, and that was what, I always thought I wanted to do. Of course, my parents were excited about that idea. It's an amazing career. But, as I got older, I realized that I had this just natural interest and passion for anything creative. I grew up dancing, and I loved acting, I loved videography and editing, and would just do that as a hobby. And I started to tap into that a bit while I was in high school. But, with applying to college, I still thought, well, if I major in animal science, I may just love it more, and we'll see what happens. So I did continue with that major while at Tennessee State. And I think early on, I figured out that, I may not want to do this professionally, but let me go ahead and graduate with, in my degree, I had started out in a lot of my science classes very early on, so it would have held me back a bit, with changing my major. But I made sure to involve myself in anything creative while at TSU. So I would shadow, communications majors and help with film projects. I would film and edit organizational videos on campus, and that was a way to really keep that fire burning creatively, even though on the academic side, I was in a completely different field. Once I graduated from TSU, I immediately started working in the animal science field as a veterinary assistant. I worked at Banfield Pet Hospital for almost 2 years, and I think that is really what solidified for me that to pursue a career and go on to veterinary school, I really needed to have a passion in this field. And while I loved animals, like that just was not enough. And I knew that my passion was really in more a creative industry. And a lot of the representations that I would see on television of people of color, especially in reality TV at the time, it was very disappointing to me. And I always told myself that if I had an opportunity to tell stories and to have a specific platform in entertainment, I wanted it to be one that positively represented people who look like me, my friends, my family, and the Black community as a whole, especially as it relates to women of color. And after working, in animal science and deciding that I wanted to move on from that, I started looking up film programs because although I had this skill and talent and just interest in it, I didn't have a lot of the technical skill behind it and like academic instruction behind it since my major was something completely different. So I looked up master programs in film that were in Nashville, and I came across a film and creative media program that was an MFA, Master of Fine Arts program at Liscomb University, which was funny because Liscomb is my last name, and that was not planned at all. But I knew some people from TSU who were in that program, and some professors from TSU were very familiar with that program. And I got accepted, and that's what really started my career in film was, going to grad school for film. And so that's my background leading up. I guess as our conversation continues more, I can lead into hashtag Weird Myah, but that is really what propelled it to, what I'm doing now currently.
I just love your journey, by the way. So kudos to all the great things that you are doing, right? I consistently follow you. You're doing some amazing things. And so let's talk about Weird Myah. You are the creator and lead actor of the upcoming television comedy series, Weird Myah. What inspired you to create this amazing television comedy series? What inspired you to do that?
Thank you. Thank you. So I came up with the concept for and it's hashtag Weird Myah. I always tell people that you pronounce the hashtag. It's okay. It was around 2015. So I was no longer working at the animal hospital, but I had not started at Lipscomb yet. And I was trying to find my place. I think I had applied possibly, but I hadn't started quite yet. And I had this idea come about of this series, and it would follow someone who struggled with their individuality, which was a lot different than me. I was taught to, be unapologetically yourself and really embrace your individuality, but there were times where I would sometimes feel excluded for being different and for being myself, and even though that's something that I really took pride in, it sometimes made me feel apart. And I would feel like, maybe something's wrong with me. Well, really deep down I knew that it wasn't, but, we all have our insecurities, so those things come about. And the inspiration, I think, behind the title of the show, I had an assistant professor at TSU actually say that I was weird, and I had never heard that before. I had never been described as that, and I wasn't sure how to take it. And he explained that it wasn't a negative thing. He just thought that, I had a very creative mind. I was eclectic, like in my thinking and just, how I expressed myself. But the idea came about putting, and I can also now go into exactly, the premise behind the show, but it's set at an HBCU. And so being that I did attend an HBCU, I pulled from a lot of those experiences and really someone who loved a different world, and putting someone who is in this environment that I feel really celebrates being an individual and being unapologetically yourself. That was my take from being at an HBCU. You're just immersed in so much diversity, not just from from a nationality perspective, but also different religions, people being from different parts of the United States or even from different countries. There's just so much pride in just being who you are. So I thought it would be interesting to play around with the idea of someone who felt that they were so different in this environment that embraced being different. And my character, Myah Bridges, she really struggles with the whole idea of being weird. She unintentionally draws attention to herself. She attracts the most absurd situations because of habitual lies that she tells herself to appear more normal. And the question is, like, really, what is normal? And the whole theme of the show is to understand that we all have something weird about us, and that is what makes us unique. It's what makes us special. But in Myah's case, the character Myah, it takes her undergraduate journey to fully figure that out and understand that, everyone kind of feels the same way, and those differences shouldn't make her feel apart, but, they should be celebrated. So that is the overall concept, and I think it was just that feeling of, the things that I feel make me special may not completely be understood by others, but is that such a bad thing? So it plays around with that concept.
And I love that you actually reach back, right, to help other people who might be feeling like that, right? You created a television series about it. So let's talk about that. So why is embracing our individuality so important? Why is that so important for our listeners that are listening that might be, having those same type of struggles?
Well, I have a very strong sense of faith, and I believe that we are all placed on this earth for a unique purpose to fulfill, and we all have our own voice that we are meant to express. And I think that's what's so beautiful about being unique, because, that's a part of your journey, that's a part of your legacy that you'll leave behind. And if you're trying to be just like everyone else, then you're not doing yourself justice on, what was put on your heart to fulfill while you're here. And, even in the story, there are characters that Myah runs across. I have a character named Alana Haywood, and she's the campus it girl. So she's the sorority president, the SGA president. She's beautiful, and Myah admires her. She has a perfect boyfriend, and from the outside looking in, she is who Myah aspires to be, and everything that is right within Alana, she feels is wrong about her. But on the flip side, while Alana may present herself as a strong, confident person, like, she's dealing with her insecurities as well. And I think that deals with, the grass isn't always as greener on the other side, and really appreciating the things within yourself, because you never know what anyone else is going through. And even if your journey has its ups and downs, like, that's still a part of your story. And it makes you who you are. So I think it's just important to just live that out in the best way possible. And it's not easy, but everything that's meant to be will be. So I just think it's so important just to love, like, who you were created to be.
I love that, and thanks for shining light on that for the listeners that are listening. And so I know you said, when you were in college, a professor called you weird, right? And so what is some advice you would give to a listener who has probably had some of those similar situations? I know when you said when it first happened, you didn't really know how to take it, right? So what is some advice you would give to that listener because that might have had a similar situation? Because, some people, it could have crushed your self-esteem, but it didn't. It actually made you creative, right? And you actually just took that and ran with it. For some people, it could have crushed them,
Yes, and, I'm going to tie that into another example, because there have been times where things have been said to me that did temporarily crush me, or experiences that I've had, and I think it's really taking, like, allowing yourself to feel those feelings, but also finding the blessing in it or the good in it, and even if it does set you back for a moment, you are going to grow, like you're going to mature, like from that experience. And no one can take away what, and I said I'm a very spiritual person, no one can take away what God already has destined for you. And so even though people do say things that may hurt, your story is so much bigger than that, because their words have no control over it. They have no control over your life. And it can be hard, but we can't let things other people put on us hold us down or keep us back. And that example of being called weird, I don't think that so much was as hurtful, but I did have a situation as I was working towards pursuing this journey with #WeirdMyah, where people told me that I couldn't do it. People told me that I couldn't do it without a big budget. People told me that there were other shows out there that, may be similar, or maybe at an HBCU, so you missed your opportunity. And for a while, it did hold me back. But I thought about it, and I said, well, no one can tell my story like I meant to tell it. So God wouldn't place this vision on my heart for no reason. So I'm going to walk in it and see where it takes me. And so I think that that's the mindset that people should take in if they ever are discouraged, as, don't listen to that. Listen to your heart and, what you feel your purpose is. Hopefully I answered that.
Okay. Yes, you did. Listen to your heart. That's right. It's so important, right, to stay focused on your journey. That is so important for all of our listeners that are listening, because people are going to say whatever, right? But you have to stay focused and know what you're passionate about, and you have to be able to, walk along, too. Sometimes that comes with it, walking along. So I want to talk about now our HBCUs, because I love the fact that you have #WeirdMyah in the center around HBCUs. And I'm a strong component of HBCU. I went to North Carolina A&T State University, so I love my HBCUs and I love my alma mater. And so why is giving back to our HBCUs so important?
Wow. So my experience at an HBCU is probably one of the best experiences of my life. Like, I just knew that I would attend an HBCU. Both of my parents graduated from an HBCU. My dad graduated from Virginia State University, and my mom graduated also from Tennessee State University. And the experience is like no other. And outside of only the HBCU aspect, I think just seeing positive representations of people of color, and something that's family friendly, there's no negative connotation within the show, is refreshing. And I wanted to also highlight the beauty in HBCUs in that, but on a mainstream level. And I'm really blessed that the producer who's now involved with the show has been very supportive of that, and me keeping that vision of positively representing, because I want to tell everyone about HBCUs. I want to encourage high school students who maybe thinking about college, applying to colleges, to show them the beauty in it. And I actually had a situation as I was working on networking and expanding the show. I had a meeting with someone, and she asked me why it had to be at an HBCU. She didn't understand. I don't think she even knew what it was, but she said, like, why can't it just be, just a college for, just a PWI? I don't know if she said those words, but basically, like, why did it have to be an historically Black school with an all-Black cast? And my answer to that was, why not? Like, why not put HBCUs on the forefront in a positive way? Why not have that representation? And, that's something that I feel Different World did so beautifully and effortlessly, and really paved the way for just to encourage the attendance and enrollment at historically Black colleges. And I feel that something is needed now for present day in that way. So I hope to do that with #WeirdMyah. I think I'm on the right track, but I think it's all about exposure and representation, and just providing that for people who may be aware of HBCUs and people who may not be aware of HBCUs, but introducing it to them in a way that represents us well.
I love that, and I'm all about, like I said, giving back to HBCUs. I just want to give you kudos for just, creating that, television comedy series and it being centered around our HBCUs and raising that awareness, because I am a big, supporter of that. So what do you want viewers to gain from #Weird Myah? When they watch your show, right, what do you want people to take away from? What do you want them to feel?
For the show, so in the fictional sense, talking about the show and the characters, it's fun, it's lighthearted, and it's very relatable. And I feel that if someone doesn't directly identify with my character, Myah, wanting to fit more in or stand less out, I feel that they will meet a character who, if it's not them, they know someone like them. They had a roommate like that, or a boyfriend, or a best friend, or a teacher. And, it's something that's very relatable, it's very real, it's very current. And even though it's a comedy and it's entertaining, there's still a positive message that you get out of it. It's uplifting. And I also just, with me being the creator of it, I also want to inspire people from my journey, whether they're in film or in another industry. It hasn't been easy, and I completely changed careers pretty much. But I think it's just a testament of having strong faith and belief in yourself, trusting the process, and not taking no for an answer, not stopping, no matter what trials come your way, just believing that you were supposed to do this, you were supposed to tell this story, and fully believing in that and putting in the work necessary, but it can happen. And, people like Issa Rae and Ava DuVernay, I'm so inspired by. And, of course, Issa Rae starting out in the digital space with a web series and now having a successful HBO series, among all other endeavors that she has, and Ava DuVernay starting her film career at a later age and becoming the phenomenon that she is. I think that alone was proof for me that I can do this. And I'm very transparent about my journey. I'm always posting on my Instagram. Like right now, I'm currently re-editing the miniseries because I'm preparing to do a re-release of it on a streaming platform while we're in the process of pitching the show for mainstream television. And I'm very transparent about all of that. And I always have been, with doing table reads and writing sessions and, interviews with my cast and crew and my co-writer, Kelly Greer. And, I'm always very open about our writing process and everything because I want people to see that this is a real journey. I think oftentimes we may see, someone after the fact and the success that they have, but we don't really know what it took to get there. So I've always been very transparent about showing that journey because I want to show people that no matter what industry you're in or whatever it is that you want to pursue, it is possible. It takes time, and you have to be realistic about that. I've been working on this since 2015, and, it's 2020 now, and now it's starting, to pick up. But as long as you're persistent and truly, truly believe and trust the process, it can be done. So that's what I want to encourage people, with the actual show, but also with the journey of the show. And I hope that I'm doing that.
I love it. So where do you see #Weird Myah in 3 to 5 years? Where do you see your coming?
So in 3 to 5 years, so it's already on TV. We have had a few seasons out, and Kelly Greer and I, we've already written season 1, just have it ready. We have it ready for for when the TV aspect of the journey comes. But yeah, 3 to 5 years, I see it successful on television. It is a hit show. It has won some Emmy awards, and I hopefully, from that opportunity, from the success of hashtag Weird Myah, my hope is that I'm creating other content, whether it be other television shows, whether it be movies, and I hope too that my crew and my cast involved, that it also has propelled their careers. And I hope that it will become more of a norm to bring back the family-friendly, whether it be drama or comedy, shows back to mainstream television that have African Americans of all types on the forefront, and it be something that's mainstream. And it's I feel like our story should be seen as more of a human experience and not just a Black experience. And that's something that I appreciate, after having the opportunity to pitch, not, I honestly don't think there might have been one Black person in the room when I pitched. And for me, I wasn't really sure if, they would understand my story or, the story that I was trying to tell. But the reality is that we're human and we have human experiences, and we should be able to tell stories that are for everyone, and we shouldn't just be separated, or put in a box, just focused on the Black community, because we have stories for everyone. And I think we see that, like, with the success of Black Panther and, movies like that. We're starting to see that people of all nationalities do want to see us more. So I hope that, with the success of hashtag Weird Myah, it gives me the opportunity to be successful in the film and television industry and have the opportunity to create more projects and be a part of the creation of more projects that positively represent people of color.
I love that. And, as I stated, I'm consistently following you, so I know that you have great things in the future ahead, and I can't wait to see all the great things that hashtag Weird Myah has in store. So I just want to congratulate you in advance, and thanks for just not giving up and just being consistent, right? And I think that's the main thing, and I'm glad you shine light on that for our listeners, because that's part of the process, right? Being consistent. And it's not about how well you do, it's about how consistent you are. So just thanks for doing that and continuing to push through. And now you are on TV, and you have, and I mean, it's up from here, right? It only can go up.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I ask all of my guests this question. I see that you created multiple tables for yourself. So how did you create your seat at the table?
Well, I had to just create my own story. And I said, okay, if that means that I'm, obviously I'm acting in it, but if I also have to direct a couple episodes, if I have to, film some of the scenes that I'm not in, if I have to do an episode with a 3 or 4 person crew, like, that's how you create a seat at your own table. And you just push, continue to put out content. And I just kept working on this vision until it got me in a room where I was able to present it to individuals who could help me take it to the next level. But so I would say if anybody created a seat, I definitely have done that, with just trying and just following my heart and not always knowing exactly what I'm doing or where I'm going, but just continuing to just put light, like, into this vision and just see where it takes me. So definitely.
I love it. So let's talk about, because everybody has a process, and I know you spoke on a little bit of your process earlier. So what did failure teach you on your journey?
So everything happens for a reason, because there definitely were times, where someone walked away from the project, or, my crew for the next episode I filmed was a lot less people than my original crew, or, because that happens. And, there was a time where I had to take a long break on the show and releasing, episodes of the miniseries. But I think this entire process has just taught me the power of patience and taking your time and not trying to rush things, and that things will happen when they're supposed to, things will happen in their own time. And, I feel like a lot of those setbacks were for a reason. And, some of the people who were removed from the process, like that was for a reason. And it may not be fun at the time, it may be hurtful. You may feel like, oh, this is never going to happen. But those breaks, I think they were definitely necessary for my growth. I needed to take time to learn. When I first started working on #WeirdMyah, I hadn't really been in my film program a long time, so there was a lot I didn't know about proper formatting of a script. There was a lot I didn't know about directing or producing. So I feel like all that time is necessary, and it really has taught me a lot of patience and just diligence overall. And I've noticed that the more that I am faithful to that process, the more God has provided me with resources that just seem to just come to me from, and I think that's just me taking my time with it and allowing it to flow naturally.
Because it's always a lesson, right? Failure is always a lesson. It's a lesson to keep pushing forward. So if we keep that mindset, we'll get to the next level. So you're very successful. So what
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what did success teach you on your journey?
Ooh. Well, I'm a very driven person, and I'm a very humble person. So I think, I think that's a part of it too. I have to remind myself that like, you should be proud of yourself. Like, you're doing a good job. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I have this vision. I'm not quite there yet, so I have to keep going. But I think that has been a lesson I've learned is, celebrate each stage of it. And from like when we won the awards for best TV pilot, that felt so good. That felt like, wow, we're being recognized for something that we put so much time, energy, and hard work and prayer into. So I think that it's the little moments that really propel and keep you going. But you have to remember that it's a process, it's a journey, and not let those things go to your head. And just continue to put your heart in it and work towards it. But I have learned that even with those moments of success, it's still difficult, and it only gets harder. The closer I get, I think I'm understanding that. And but I'm learning from it, and I appreciate the process. I appreciate the journey, and I look forward to more success.
I love that. So what can we expect from you in 2020? I mean, the first quarter is over, we're walking into the second quarter. What can we expect from you in this year of 2020?
So I announced earlier about my attachment with Joel Eisenberg, and he is a producer who I met at FilmCom, where I had the opportunity to pitch. He's based in Los Angeles, and he has really been helping me with this entire process of taking the show to the next level. So as I mentioned a little while ago, I'm finalizing edits for a re-release on a streaming platform. I can't give everything away yet, but that would be the immediate next announcement. So those who are not familiar with #WeirdMyah, they will be introduced to the show and will be able to see it on the streaming platform. So that's very exciting. And beyond that, we will continue the process with pitching to television networks, and we'll have, other announcements that will come out with that. I hope to get people more involved with the social media, because I really want to be more interactive with the supporters and introduce them to the cast, to, the crew, and really this whole process. So I hope that over time, since I am kind of in this waiting period of the pitch process and not knowing, how fast things are going to happen, and especially in the time we are in now, things have kind of slowed down. But I think that is necessary. Everything happens for a reason. So, this pause, I think, was necessary for all of us to just kind of slow down and take our time and reflect and refocus. But I hope that I will have exciting announcements about the show, hopefully in terms of it being picked up by a television network by the end of 2020. But we will just see. I continue to walk in faith, and we'll just, see what God has in store.
Well, super congratulations on all the great things that I know God is going to do through you this year and all the great things that you're getting ready to birth in this new year and new decade. So congratulations in advance again, and I am looking forward to seeing all of the great things that are going to take place with #WeirdMyah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me to be a part.
Yes, you are welcome. So please tell our listeners, Myah, how they can follow you and support you and book you on all social media platforms.
Yes, well, my personal social media tag username is at Myah Naomi. That's MYAHNAOMI, Myah Naomi. And the # WeirdMyah social media is at WeirdMyah, WeirdMyah. And you can go to our website to find out more information, press releases, support our GoFundMe. You can purchase a # shirt. Those are really cute. But that is MyahNaomi.com/WeirdMyah. And just stay tuned for what's to come.
So make sure you follow and support Myah Naomi Liscomb, okay? And # WeirdMyah. Support her on all social media platforms. She has some great things going on. Definitely support her television comedy series. For all of our producers and, network owners that are listening, you tune in, check her out. She has some great things in store. So congratulations again, Myah, on all the great things that you have going on. And I cannot, again, wait to see what # WeirdMyah is going to do. And I can't wait to see the progress and all of the great things that will take place in the future years from now.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that.
You are welcome. And thank you again for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table. This has been a powerful interview, and I can't wait to invite you back.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
You are welcome. So I look forward to working with you and collaborating with you in this new year.
Yes.
All right. So I would like to give a special thanks to my intern, Sarah, from Tennessee State University, and my intern, Vontaria, from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.